Lord. Welcome in to Sport Talk with D-Ball. This is show number 16. Now, on this show, we're going to talk about the playoffs. We're going to talk about some NFL. We're going to talk about the Dome. Just got back today from St. Louis, Missouri. There's a lot to go over college football wise, bowl games, who's playing them, and, and who's not playing in them. But first, with that being all said, what's going on, Casper?
Just made it back up here and struggling a little bit, but hey, we'll go to work tomorrow and then we'll be all right after that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, it was a pretty long drive home, about 7-ish hours, give or take, from St. Louis, Missouri. That's where we were this
Yeah.
weekend. We were at the Dome. Got me a program. That's pretty cool to see. But yeah, first I'll go over the Dome real quick. First time for me going. Pretty good drive to get there from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Fans travel from all over. It seemed like from guys from sitting next to me. There's some people from all over the place from next to me and whatnot. So it was a cool event. If you haven't been before, I would highly recommend going. It's small, it's compact, but they can race really good. It's tight, it's high speed track for if it for what it is. It's fast and it's good, and I really enjoyed my time there. We went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and man, it was some tempers were going on there Friday, and then a little bit of that on Saturday. But I liked it a lot. I enjoyed my time, and I love dirt racing. I'm a big fan of it. It's probably my top sport that I like to follow a lot. So that was kind of my take on the Dome.
Just for those of y'all that don't know, the Dome is an indoor dirt race. Uh, where the Rams used to play. It was a great time. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. It's like you would go back maybe.
I would. I'd go back for sure. It's each year they get bigger and bigger with the
Yeah,
plans and the with the guy that's going to be there to race and whatnot. Which next year they got some names already coming out, and it was cool to see different guys this year. That that came.
yeah, we'll talk about that more, I guess. Whenever we put out the caution flag contemplation, shameless plug. But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, wild stuff goes on in that place. Can't go every year though. Like you go for 3 days, you're domed out for a while. Like I'm good. I've had my fill. I'm ready for another couple years. But glad you made it. Glad we had a good time. Sorry I made that one wrong turn on the way home. God bless it. Pissed me off so bad. But oh well.
Oh man, it was a good time. But we'll go ahead and jump into some news of the week. So we're starting to see teams not play tough games for the non-conference games. We're starting to see these teams kind of bail off. Alabama has canceled some of their games for the future, so they're going to play UTC. They're going to play Chattanooga, the next couple of years instead of playing some tougher mid games for non-conference. So I'll go ahead and go first on that. Just it makes sense. Why play a tough game when you don't got to? You got to win all your games. If not, just lose one in the whole year. So if you're gonna drop one on week 1, you better go. You better win the rest of the rest of the season. Otherwise, your coach is probably going to get canned. So I don't blame it. Like next year, we got Tennessee Tech versus Tech opening game. So if if Tennessee drops that one to Georgia Tech, there's one loss. You better not lose any
Yeah.
more. So
Yeah.
it's tricky because Tech's got Georgia. We got some also. So there's two tough non-conference games for Tech next year. So as a fan, you want to see these games be tough because it's something good to watch on TV. But as a team and players, you probably don't want that.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. It is what it is. Like I was telling you in the car the other day, like I think we should go find some college, Chattanooga State, for example, just tell them we're going to play D1 football. We go get whatever the minimum we got to have, 30 guys, just put some shoulder pads on, pretend like we play football. We'll charge these schools 2 million. We'll come in there, you beat our ass, we go home. It'd be fine. I mean, I'm just saying, like, what? I don't. It's a joke. It would have been better if they could have scheduled Chattanooga State just to make Dan Lanning happy. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hate where it's going. Don't blame them. Do not blame them though.
Yep, I understand. I get the process on what they're doing. Georgia Tech's Brent Key has signed a 5-year contract to stay with the school. That's where he went to school at. That's where he played. So it's good to see him stay. I think he's a great coach. Year 3 so far was really good. Now we lost the coordinator though. He's going to Florida, so Buster Faulkner is headed to Florida. He was the offensive coordinator, and I hope he doesn't take his quarterback with him. Uh, I'll be curious, kind of what shakes out with who comes and goes. And I try not to get too caught up in coaches going and players going here because they jump around, and I just want to see who's on the roster for next year here in a couple of months or whatnot. And you know, if the quarterback goes and he goes, and we'll hopefully have a guy lined up. And if the coach is gone now, and we'll hire somebody, we'll bring somebody in. It's tough as a Tech fan. We lose our guys up top, we lose our coaches, we lose our players because you just want to be in the SEC, you want to be in the Big Ten, you want to be in a bigger conference. It's not about the money because we tried to pay this that coach that left the same amount they're going to pay at Florida, and it didn't matter. He was going to go because there's probably more bonus money. There's more potential. He could be a OC at Florida for a year or two or three, and then he might
Be a
go the
head
head
coach.
coaching route. And so I think that's
Yeah.
pretty common. Is he had a good run at Tech, and he was good. So we'll move on, and we'll just have to accept it. And I think we'll be fine. I think a lot goes on with the transfers and whatnot, and players and coaches coming and going. So my opinion, I'm not that worried about it. We'll see who's going to be on the team next year.
Yep.
But no, we'll go ahead and go into some of this NASCAR talk real quick. We're going to dig into it. I'll let Casper talk about this NASCAR court.
NASCAR, as they were calling it on
NASCAR,
the
yes.
podcast. Yeah. First of all, I'll just tell you, I'm getting all my information straight off the teardown. So if you're a podcast listener and you want to know about this NASCAR lawsuit for 2 hours a day, go listen to the teardown. They do a great job breaking it down. But it's getting interesting. It's been a little testy. Michael Jordan's been he was a witness. He's testified. Denny Hamlin, Steve O'Donnell. A lot of these people, if you're in NASCAR realm, you know these names. But a lot of the big testimonies happen. They are, unfortunately, this case is probably going to take like 3 weeks instead of two. It's not getting any shorter. It doesn't sound like, and the judge ain't real happy about it. But I don't know. It's interesting. It sounds like, right now, I think the general sentiment from what I've heard is that the teams are probably winning the lawsuit currently. But, we're only 1 week in. They're presenting their case. NASCAR hasn't, so they should be, right? Um, they're going to have to figure out where were they, be malicious in their intent and stuff like that. So, definitely interesting. I'd recommend you guys listen to it. But there is, I was actually scrolling before I got on here. There's talk that they might try to settle this thing again. So we'll see what happens. The judge told him that he'd recommend settle it this weekend. Just end this deal. But I don't know. It seems to me like this is it's a popsicle measuring contest, is what it seems like is going on a little bit, and who's got the most money. And I hate that, but we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully it fixes the sport, but I don't see how this is really better for the sport in the end. I guess if the teams get some more money, then we might see better drivers, so that'd be good. But I don't know. I'll let you know what I hear.
Yeah, I feel like that the teams are doing good right now with what they're saying, and kind of how they're saying it kind of goes a long way with it too. I feel like, and which we hadn't heard the other side much, but
Yeah,
just from MJ and all those Gibbs people that have been talking. I was thinking NASCAR was probably going to win, but there's still some more time in this. But I'd be curious what the turnout is. I thought from the past few months, from what
yeah,
was going on with some of the news, now what we're hearing this week, hopefully they can get it figured out. Just as a fan, I just hope it gets solved and we get some answers, and then we can move on to the season. There's a lot coming up, and it's gonna be a good year coming up, and I'm looking forward to it. We got to get past this little speed bump,
yeah.
and then we'll be ready to go.
We should be talking about Daytona. By God, Daytona 500.
It won't be long. A few more short weeks, and we'll be there. But we'll go back to some college football. So some teams are not playing in ball games, which we'll kind of you talk about this a little bit more here in a minute. But just some news that came out today. Uh, uh, Notre Dame has said they're not playing in the bowl game. Iowa State, Kansas State, some teams that aren't playing. We'll kind of dig in this here in a little bit, but that just come out today about the Fighting Irish say we didn't make the playoffs, and we're not going to play in the bowl game.
Yeah. One thing to note there on the Iowa State and Kansas State, because we're not talking about them. Both of them got fined 500K a pop for by the conference for declining the bowl invitation. Notre Dame's not getting fined because they're still not in the conference. I just like to point that out. I think that changes immediately, just for the record. But we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of got the news that they better join a conference. They better find one quick. Hopefully
Yeah,
next year.
I feel like that was what was delivered via the rankings today. So
Yep. Right quick, we're gonna go through some of these games that happened on Saturday. ACC was Duke and Virginia went into overtime. Virginia got the win 27-20. Duke, yeah,
Duke,
Duke,
Duke.
Duke got the win. So that kind of shook some things up because if it had been Virginia, then they would have locked in and whatnot. So that I'm kind of team chaos a little bit on some of this. So I like to see some of these teams win that aren't expected to win. So
You you had a good weekend then if your team chaos, by God. Let me tell you. You did have
there,
that.
there was a lot going on. Georgia and Alabama. Georgia, they got it done. They won big. Alabama had 3 losses on the year, and they still got in, but they had a really tough schedule, and they were on this. That it was going to be a good example of are they going to take them out? Are they going to leave them in?
Yeah.
And they, which this also kind of ties in, which we'll get into in a little bit. These games, is it even going to be a thing? In the years to come with with these conference championship games. I say if they don't
Yeah.
mean nothing, then why play them?
The committee's doing their best to protect them because they know how much money they are for the conferences and they don't want the conferences to revolt over those games. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they got beat by 3 touchdowns. So I was worried.
Yeah, if they would have taken them out with everything that they bring to the table with money and whatnot in the history of Alabama football, for them to be in that would have been a big ordeal. So I was okay with them getting in. I'm gonna talk a little about the Buckeyes and Indiana. So Indiana has never, or they haven't won their conference since 1940 something. Heard today, I
Long
think it
time.
was. But it's been a long time. So to see Indiana get the win is that's pretty sweet. They're more for basketball, school wise, but they're number one, and I don't know how they're going to shake up against some of the teams down south, but that's why we play the games, and we're going to see here in a few weeks, and they may be thrilling. They got a good coach who seems to be like, I saw something on today that that they won, but he didn't even look happy, or whatever. So he's just got a unique. This is how he is. He's just probably a hard nosed coach, and
Saban never looked happy.
I guess the ones that are good just don't look happy.
Yeah.
that's just kind of the way it is there. American, a North Texan Tulane. Tulane wins big. Their coach is going to Florida, but he's going to coach the team. Is he going to coach in the playoffs? Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep. Yep.
coaching the conference
At
game,
Ole Miss
going to coach in the
again.
playoff. Yep, and they're going to head to
Second
Ole
time this
Miss.
year.
Hopefully, get some revenge.
Yeah. They lost by 5 touchdowns last time.
So I've got a quick take here. We got two small schools that got locked into the playoff, going to the playoff. James Madison's another team that got in. As a fan, it's like you like to see these teams maybe get in that don't have the big names, but I don't want to turn the TV on. These two games and they're getting just blown out by 5 touchdowns or something like that. So I'm just curious on your end. Is it okay to see these teams from like the Sun Belt and the American get in?
No, straight up. I mean, yes. Okay. So if they're ranked up there, yes.
Yeah.
Um, James Madison being 24th, I mean, they're going to get blown out. Tulane's going to get blown out. Everybody can say what they want. That's just what's going to happen. So, um, yeah, man, I think it's stupid. Like, I think there's teams sitting on the outside right now that'd be better. Let me ask you this question:
Yep.
Would Bandy beat them? Both of them. Yes.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
Texas? Yes.
Yeah.
Would Notre Dame? Yes. Would BYU? Yes. Okay. So that's 4 teams right there that I mean, I'm pretty confident in saying they're better than they are. And we could probably go farther down the rankings. I could probably get you some more, but right there off the rip, that's 4 teams that are sitting at home today. Um, I don't know. I understand the quote inclusion as Reese was trying to tell us, but it's just it's the playoffs ain't right. I mean, I think they need to go to 16 and put the 16 best teams in there. I mean, I've been crucified for saying it by multiple people, but I dang near be fine to go back to the BCS and just take top 16, go from there. You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like if we had top 16 this year, I don't there I don't there's always going to be that bubble team, right? Doesn't matter if we put 50 in. There's always a bubble team. But here's the thing. I don't think they can usually win. I do think Vandy could get hot and win. I think Texas could get hot and win, and I think Notre Dame could go on a streak
Yeah,
and win, right? Now, I
yeah,
don't know that any of them can beat Ohio State, but maybe. Like, I don't know. I mean, Texas played Ohio State to 7 points week one. Like, they were close. They were close. So, um, I don't know. That I hope they change something, but we'll see. I think this whole opt out thing, like you're talking about, like so obviously Notre Dame doesn't get fined because they're not in the conference. But so what I was thinking about after I dropped you off today is if Notre Dame is in the ACC, they'd have played in the ACC championship game. Probably they were good
yeah,
enough that probably would have. Um, and then they're not complaining about missing today because they probably they might have won. So and their strength schedule will probably be a little bit better than it was not in conference. So I think this was a wake up call for Notre Dame. You have to get a. I think you got to get in the conference.
yeah,
Kind of how it's set up now. Now we can go into should we play conference championship games? I mean,
yeah.
do you think so? What's your opinion on
I
conference championship games?
I like them. I think it's a good look. I feel like the top two teams should play, and I almost sort of feel like if you lose, and you got three losses, or if you're in there like a 10th place team and you lose, and maybe you should be out. Maybe you make this game's really important, and winner is in,
Yeah.
and loser, if you're on bubble, you're out.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm okay with that too. I don't, it's so tough, man. Here's the thing. I looked it up earlier. I'm pretty sure that the SEC made about $50 million off that championship game yesterday in Atlanta. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot.
I mean, that's why they have them. They don't, and that's why they don't want to get rid of them. That's just TV rights and sponsorships, right? And ticket sales. Like, and that's all their money. That ain't school's money. That's their money. I'm sure the schools get paid something for making it, but and I get from that perspective of having them, but I don't know. Maybe we should just go to locking them into the playoffs before the championship game. But
Yeah,
even then, you start getting in this. If they're playing an extra game before the playoffs, you run into like, what about injury?
yeah, yeah.
Or maybe you should have here now. This is another thought I had: have a first place game and a second place game. Give everybody else a chance to play and perform, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I like that.
and then maybe move around. I don't know. I feel bad for Notre Dame because they were ranked up here, and then BYU lost, and somehow that dropped them 2 spots. And that I don't understand how BYU losing dropped Notre Dame, but that's what they said. So I
Yeah,
mean, didn't you think that's kind of weird? Like Miami. Here's the thing: Miami and Notre Dame didn't play this weekend. Neither of them did. But somehow Miami passed Notre Dame from Tuesday to Sunday, and it just doesn't. I know they said thing about well we match them up head to head when they're on that same level and blah blah blah. We should have matched them up head to head last week. That's what you should have done. And then we wouldn't have this conversation. So I mean,
yeah. It's tricky because these teams that aren't playing, they're sitting on the couch. Miami gets in, and Oklahoma that that they didn't play. You might as well just not
mhm.
play, and then
Yeah.
save yourself from injury, and then
Well, exactly. You're risking injury, and for what? Okay, like yeah, okay. Georgia's got a bye, but Alabama they played a game and they got to turn around and play another game. I mean, and that's not gonna be. I mean, they got to play Oklahoma. Good Lord, they could use an extra week to prepare for that. I'm sure. So, um, I don't know. I guess like I had a good question, and it's escaped my mind. I'm sorry. Um, I guess they gotta have conference championships, but it's just silly. I don't know. Oh, here's what I'm gonna ask you: rankings. Should we
mm,
do these rankings before the end? Can we not just use the AP poll and the coaches poll and then ranking just come out at the end? Like for basketball, they don't have a selection show every Tuesday night during the basketball season for who's in the championships. I think they do it for the money. ESPN wants the money. They want to talk, blah, 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 blah. But they really hurt themselves. And that's why I understand. Like, I'm not a Notre Dame fan, never have been, never will be. But I understand why they're upset because I don't really understand how they got moved without playing and Miami not playing. That makes no sense. But if they didn't have that show Tuesday, they just had that unofficial off on their little computer screen. Nobody knows. Nobody's talking about that, right? Notre Dame probably doesn't throw a hissy fit and sit out of bowl game. So I don't know. I think I think you see Notre Dame in the ACC next year, or as soon as they can get in it. I mean that's my prediction, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I feel like they gotta find something, find them a conference, and I feel like that show, it just kind of builds it all up, and I about quit watching the show because it really just have one show this day of the year, or just have one show late in the year, and that's it. Don't have maybe it's Tuesday, and have these other polls and let the other polls take care of it, and it's just I almost wonder if years from now, like 5 or 10 years from now, if we're even still having the conference championship games, and then I'd be curious how big the playoffs get 5, 10 years from now if we're talking about 24 teams or 50 something. Who knows how many teams? They might just keep expanding it, but I feel like it doesn't really matter if somebody's be mad every year we see it, whether it's 4 teams or 12 teams.
Yeah.
Um, but at some point, there's going to be a line of, okay, you just weren't that good enough to get in the playoffs. I thought this was going to be the year we'd be close to it with some teams having 3 losses, but didn't
Yeah, but
seem
you
to.
got Texas with 3 losses that went out of their way to play Ohio
Yeah,
State week 1. That's not,
yeah.
I mean,
That's the biggest. Like, should that count against you? I
no.
mean,
I mean, I don't think so.
I
I
don't
mean,
think so either.
the other thing too is like, okay, so you're a Georgia Tech fan. We talked about
Yeah.
this. Y'all are in a 5-way tie for second in the ACC today. You know what we didn't have when we had conferences with freaking like 12 teams? It's ties. We played the conference. When they were smaller, we played everybody, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have to question all this stuff. And in the SEC, we used to have that East-West game. Well, they don't like that because then if somebody can, if one side's stronger, yada yada yada. You get two most deserving teams, is what they say. Well, but like, I'd be honest with you, Duke didn't deserve to be in the ACC championship game. Sorry, I mean y'all beat them.
Yeah, we
Like
beat
they
them.
lost.
We beat
I
them
mean
fair and
y'all,
square.
which
Yeah.
y'all had your opportunities.
Yeah.
No, no, I'm not making excuses. Y'all need to beat Pittsburgh. Didn't do it. It is
Yeah.
what it is. But and NC State was a joke too. But like, I don't know. They got to figure out how to get teams in the conference championship games if they're going to do them because that's messed up. And then, like, debatably, like, even the SEC, you kind of had a little bit of a tie, Ole Miss and Alabama, and like, they're pretty close, the same. And I don't know. I would like to go back to playing some kind of division. Like, do they split it up, make divisions like the NFL?
I think
Say
so.
you
Yeah.
got 4 in the SEC. I mean, I know that's crazy, but like. The SEC is what 18 teams or something now. I don't even know how many it is. It's a bunch. It's over 15. So just split them into like groups of 6, make them play each other. Maybe
Yeah.
have a SEC playoff. I mean, nobody wants to hear that. I know, but
Well, that's how you solve it. Is it have these teams play each other, and then there won't be any
yeah,
tiebreak, or there won't be any these 5-way ties. And like this year, we just didn't play. Like Tech didn't play teams that we played in the past, and
yeah,
it didn't have this problem. Now we're not even playing Carolina, and we're not playing these certain teams
yeah.
that
Well,
that could help break ties in certain ways. So it's until something changes, until somebody makes a rule change, and I just don't want this to be each year. Especially like the ACC is just a good example of these crazy ties. There's got to be a way. Someone's got to be able to sit down and think of a way in these conference
yeah.
games
Just remember, ACC. The only person that got in was the one that didn't even play in conference championship game. So did we need a conference championship game? No.
no, yeah, yeah, we really didn't. We really didn't need
I
it.
mean, that's stupid. I
Yeah,
mean, and I don't know. I don't know what I don't have words for that. I don't know how to fix it. I know that the love of money has ruined this stuff a little bit, and it's kind of that's why the conferences are big because they want these big TV packages and all this stuff. But it is hurting the actual sport. If they don't watch out, like this Notre Dame thing is going to piss some people off. And do people stop watching? I don't know, probably not. But like, if I'm Vandy right now, I'm like, dude, I went 10-2 in the SEC and did everything I could do.
yeah,
Almost had Texas, and like I feel like they should be in. Really, like
yeah,
if you're Diego and you got to watch JMU next weekend, 2 weeks, whatever it is. How do you feel about that? Pretty bad? Because I feel pretty bad about it.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, at first I liked if you win you're in for the I thought that would help the conference, but really it's not. It didn't have the effect I thought it was going to have, and I'd almost say take away the if you win you're in for the conference championship game. I say just take that away
Yeah,
and go a different route because it didn't. I mean, yeah, I mean, like Duke didn't get in, and they won their conference, but they weren't
Yeah,
ranked high enough and whatnot.
yeah.
But so the term, if you win, you're in. It's always true if you're not, if you're 8-4 or
Yeah.
whatever Duke was. So
I mean, it's just strange how it's worked out. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. I think to me though, I agree with you. Take those automatic bids away. Go to 16 teams, rank them BCS, take top 16 teams, be done with it. And there's always going to be bubble talk, but nobody from 17th is going to win probably. You don't see like in in a basketball tournament, you don't see, freaking 12 seeds out here winning national championships. It doesn't happen, right? So, um I don't know. That's my take. 16, get rid of it, go back to BCS to rank them 1 through 16. Heard it here first.
yeah,
Sorry to you old timers that really hated the BCS, but
which I mean, now I kind of like to be it. I think it's good. I thought it was good because now you didn't have all this mess going on. Um, that's everybody's gonna have their own take on it, and there's no really good way to fix it until something. There's gotta be some change, and then
yeah.
something maybe will get fixed with that.
Fan
Um,
vote. Just call
fan,
NASCAR. They'll tell you how to
or
fix it.
or lock in the 15 and then have one fan vote.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It'd be like the NASCAR All-Star race. I mean, I
I,
don't know. Maybe
I
Notre
kind of like
Dame
it.
and Vandy should talk to Jeff Gordon, see if they, he's got some advice on how to get added to the playoffs if you miss. I mean, that's who I call.
Bring the fan vote. I like that,
Yeah,
Kaiser.
yeah,
Give
yeah.
me a fan vote.
I'll vote for Georgia Tech just for you. What's
We
on that
all.
shirt? Is that a Louisville shirt? Sorry, you
It's
got your nice.
a Cardinals.
Okay, yeah. Did you buy that up there?
No, no.
Okay.
I've had it
You
for a
had that
while.
nice new microphone with that nice new Sport Talk
Uh,
with D-Watt
uh,
on there, and I was like, oh man, but I couldn't see what that shirt was. I was like trying to figure that out. Sorry.
oh man, let's talk about some bowl games. Tennessee and Illinois in the Music City Bowl in Nashville, Tennessee. As a Tennessee fan, I'll go first, man. We just played there in basketball Saturday night. Now we're gonna play there again in a couple of weeks. It's 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 the 30th. It's just on tough to like. I guess you just got to take off work and go. It's probably pretty simple, but just time wise and day wise, it's I'm not very excited. I'll just cut to it. I'm just not that thrilled about the Music City Bowl. We can do better. We can do better than the Music City Bowl. That's my big take on that.
Hmm.
Georgia Tech is playing BYU in the Pop Tart Bowl in Orlando, Florida. That might win the award for the silliest bowl game there is. I used to eat Pop Tarts when I was younger. I used to eat them a lot. Don't eat them anymore. Might have one that day. We'll see. I might go to the store and get me a box of Pop Tarts
They're
and sit
delicious.
back and
Don't be boring.
sit back and watch the game. But so all the bowl games came out today, or most of them probably came out today with the announcement. I would say I like bowl games, but now with teams that are not playing in them and players moving around and opting out, which I'm sure we'll start to hear maybe some of that. Then that in the last, soon, but I haven't heard any of that yet. But I don't know. Let's just go back to this Tennessee bowl game, man. So what you think on that?
I mean, so I'm just looking at the tickets right here. Sorry, I'm clicking around. I'm just curious. I'm not paying $110 to go up there to watch us play at 4:30 on a Tuesday.
No.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not. Like, it's not happening. So I don't. You're right though. So we've done better. So it's a disappointment. I think that I hate to be this way, but I think that it's going to be disappointing. Probably the crowd size. I think it's going to be a pretty small crowd. There might be more Illinois fans there. The good news is they wear orange, so they can pretend. But and hopefully we win the game. Heupel needs to come out and get the dub on the game. But I'm not taking. I guess some people already have that day off. I'm not going up there to watch that. I'm just
No.
not. It's not happening. So,
No, I'll.
uh, go to Florida or something. At least then we get a vacation out of it.
Yeah.
But I know why they want it. But
Yeah.
we can do better. It's hard. It's hard to go backwards. It's always hard to go backwards. Especially when you pay that extra 10% talent fee this year. I don't know how you can afford that bowl game ticket.
Yeah, I guess they were thinking maybe since Knoxville's so close and the Vols travel well, doesn't matter where they go, they're
Yeah.
going to travel well. But I guess it's just that's just hard. It's hard for me to get behind it. Just Illinois isn't very exciting. Yeah, they had a
No.
decent year. I think they're 8-4 as well. Um, so it's just it is what it is. We'll move on, and we will hopefully go see the team get the win, get a trophy, come back to Knoxville with a trophy. That's basically what I'm
Yeah.
shooting for on that. And then the Tech game. Let's just finish the year strong. We had a good year. Started off hot. Didn't end it very good. But just as a fan, I want to see these teams compete at least. If you're gonna accept the bid, then at least show up, go to the city, have a good time, do all the touristy stuff in Nashville and Orlando, and just get the win and move on from that.
Do you think this is the last year of the bowl games? I know, like people don't want to talk about that, but like, so you've had three teams opt out of bowl games. This is going to start to become a thing, okay? With these transfers and all this nonsense, like it's. I just don't see it getting any better. Nobody is anybody excited to play in a bowl game that's not in the playoffs? No.
No, no, I don't think the
I
fans are.
mean,
The players aren't. I used to be. Like this might be the first year that it's kind of going downhill on me. And they have so many of them. I wonder if we'll start seeing them kind of cut back. And maybe you got to win 7 games to get in. I get it's about the money. They might keep doing it just because of the money side of
yeah,
it. But if they have a hard time getting sponsors because teams aren't playing in them,
right.
that's when we could see the effects of it. When these teams start
Exactly.
bailing off starting this year, and then they got to scramble and get some other teams. And if it gets hard to get other teams, then what? And then it puts those everybody paying money, and then it's not going to go like they thought it would.
Yeah, I'm not loving it. I don't know how to fix it, but like I said, I have more playoff teams, baby. Screw this junk.
All right, let's move into some Tennessee Titans football. Hey, they won today. They are 2-11. They beat the
Oh yeah.
Browns. It was on the radio on the way home this afternoon. I'll let you cover the end of the game.
Yeah, I dropped D-Wad off, and then he was just so excited to be home. He didn't watch the end. But Titans were up 2 touchdowns whenever I dropped him off there, and then basically they gave up one, and then they punted, and then they gave up another one. And thankfully, on their first try, for some reason, which is just stupid, they did that whole like go for two with the first touchdown on the comeback train thing. Like I don't recommend it, but they did it, and I don't know. So they missed it, thankfully. But yeah, and then Tennessee gave up another touchdown. And I'm like, golly, boys, what are we doing? So they didn't give up 2 point conversion. Obviously missed the onside recovery, but overall, the Titans. They're a very young team. I couldn't believe how many times I heard the word rookie on the radio today between both those teams. Um, Shadur, for him in that game, some good, some bad, and that's just kind of how it's been with him. But
Yeah.
I think maybe he's going to turn out to be a little better than I thought he was. I thought he was going to be
Yeah.
jobless next year, and I'm not sold on that now. I think he's had some flashes. I think the Titans have a chance to do well too, but just got to get a little bit of a line. It kind of sounds like best I can tell. A win over the 3-10 Browns, baby. It's a tough one. It was in the snow though. Wins a win.
Yeah.
A win is a win. So just don't lose first pick, and we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll get a couple more to finish out the year.
I hope. I think they were getting close. Kind of like we saw. Something on the radio. They're getting close. They're getting. They're just. They're getting. They're getting there, and just a few steps away from getting more
Yeah.
wins. So
I mean, Tony Pollard's a good running back they've got up there. He's been underrated his whole career. When I used to play fantasy football, I was always trying to get him, but he was out there with Zeke. But like, dude, you put him out there, he's a stud. I don't know how many years he's got left. It's a short-lived position, but if they can get that going, clean up the defense a little bit. The Titans have a chance. So to all my Titans people out there, Matty G, hang in there, okay? Just give it a couple years. I think you got the right quarterback. See what we can do. Tighten up, baby.
all right, the Seahawks blew out the Falcons, 37-9. The Falcons are laying down. Seems like the quarterback's out for the year, and they got smoked. College basketball, ACC challenge against SEC. Tennessee lost to Syracuse. Syracuse they rushed the court. I like what so the Vols were wearing the black that they had the dark mode on, looked really good, but they lost 62-60. Georgia Tech lost to Mississippi State, 85-73. Then they played a cupcake, Manmoth. So Tech got the win there, 79-67, and then Tennessee Played Illinois in Nashville Saturday night. Got beat 75-62. So that's three losses in a row. They lost to Kansas, they lost to Syracuse, lost to Illinois. I was really feeling good about the season, and now it's starting to make some losses as of late.
Yeah, the three losses in a row has got the birds chirping up here in Knoxville about Rick Barnes again.
Uh-oh.
Um, I I don't know, dude. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Um, I expect them to be better this year. They expect them to be better this year. Um, if you take three losses and you're about to go in conference play here. So, I don't know how, the next scheduled game is Gardner Webb. And then after that, there you are, Arkansas. So like you're
Okay. So
playing, and the SEC is a good conference this year. So, there's no slouches really in there other than maybe Georgia, Mississippi State, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens for the Vols, but they could turn it around, but it is not appearing to be the year they wanted it to be, you know?
yeah.
Um, they've gotten killed a couple times here too by some teams that they really wanted to beat. So we'll see what happens.
I would like to
Get the
see them
win.
not lose all three. I would like to see them maybe just lose one of those in that
Yeah.
stretch. But there's some tough games. Man, they beat
They
Houston,
beat Houston,
and they were
yeah.
ranked number one. So that was a good win. But you just got to be able to. You just can't lose. You just can't lose three in a row.
Yeah.
The
Well,
fan base ain't gonna like it.
the thing that's scary to me is that Illinois loss was the biggest one, right? And it's like they're getting worse kind of as we're going, and that's not what we want to see. The loss to Syracuse by two, it happens. You don't wake up and play. It happens in basketball. Losses don't kill you, but um, not being able to rebound is not good. Like after you lose, you need to wake up. So,
All right, I think that's about all I got for college basketball. We're going to roll into the picks of the weekend. This past weekend, it was Georgia versus Alabama. Casper had, all right, yeah, let's see here, Casper. Yeah, so you had Alabama. Anyway, so that was that, and then the Bengals and the Bills. Casper had the Bengals. And then the flex, I had BYU keeping it close, and that did not happen. Casper had Duke on the spread there, so that was correct on that. And this weekend, Army Navy, I get to go first on this one. This game's always really close, and a little drama in it at the end sometimes. So I want to go Navy to cover the spread. That was a 5.5 on the spread. I got Navy.
all right, give me Army just for argument's sake, I guess. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah,
The Bills and the Patriots is another one we're gonna do. The Bills are favored by 4.5. I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I'm gonna go with the Patriots to get the win there.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with the Patriots in that game as well.
Okay.
My boy Drake May about to win the dadgum MVP. Okay, it's on the way. Mark it down.
And then the flex is gonna be. I'm gonna go with the Bucks over the. I think that's on Thursday night. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. Spread's 4.5. I think they're gonna cover that on Thursday night.
All right, I'm gonna take the Titans to cover the 13 and a half against San Francisco Giants next weekend. I don't know. I felt like Titans had a little life there today. So I'm gonna take them to cover the spread. They're not gonna get the win, but they get 13 and a half. So, you know, hopefully they can do it.
And the points update on the points so far is 2-2 now. Casper's got the tie back on me there. He got the win this past weekend, so we're gonna go at it again next week and see how it all shakes out. I like that game. Uh, Army Navy's always a good game. I feel like it's got a lot of good back history to it, and sometimes it's snowing up there, and it gets a lot of attention in a good way to see these guys play football now and then serve our country maybe next
Oh
year.
yeah. Oh yeah. I agree. It's a classic. Gotta watch it.
And well, that about ends it for us. You got anything else, Casper?
I don't like Indiana at all. I think they're gonna lose round one.
Oh, baby, it'd be cool to kind of see the top team get knocked out. Thanks for watching. Got any fan mail for the shows coming up? You can send them our way. But with that being said, we're going to say see you in the next one.
Later.